Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina once again, and I'm finally doing part 2, finally finishing this painting. So this is number 63, continuing part 2. In my effort to create something every day, I'm trying to follow Daisy Yellow Art 365 somethings every day for this year. It's not working out, but that's okay. At least it's pushing me to still try to create something. So yay! Okay, so for those of you who looked at my previous video, I am going to link it below in the description as well as in this video. But I started this page, it was a blank page, and I added these shapes on it. It's taped off, bordered by masking tape, and I used acrylic paint to do this first base. So now I'm continuing again with acrylic paint. Honestly, I was kind of stuck and I didn't know what to do, didn't know how to continue. So I did what I usually do, which is just started to add paint to the page. But this time it was really difficult because I already had shapes and other stuff on the page. So this was very hard. I felt like I was destroying my page, honestly. And so the only thing I was thinking at this time was to use this similar colors that was on the page. I just added white to tone it down, and I'm just adding it on different parts of the page. And then when I first added it, I felt like it was too intense, so that's why I brought in the baby wipe. It's very dry, it's not wet at all, and I just wiped it up. And then I just kept doing that because I thought, hey, this kind of working, it's kind of working out. So I just kept adding paint and then wipe it up with the baby wipe, and then I'll add more paint and wipe it up with the baby wipe because I wasn't satisfied with what I was seeing, and the color was too intense and I didn't want it to cover it up so much, so I would just wipe it up with the baby wipe. And as I said before, it's a very dry baby wipe. So I'm just gonna keep adding and taking away, adding and taking away, because part of me wanted to cover up some of this because the shapes are very big and intense. So I wanted to cover up some of it, but not all of it. So that's why I kept putting it back, because I still wanted to cover up, but then I thought it was too much. I covered up too much, so I rub it off. So yeah, and then I didn't know what to do. I got to this point and I was thinking, what do? I don't know what to do. So then while I was wondering what to do, I remembered when I kept adding the color that it kind of looked okay. So I thought, you know what, let me just come in with some white and see how that looks, because I was trying also to brighten up the page, and I wanted the color not to be, because the colors that I mixed on the side, they're kind of still dark, and I wanted it lighter. And then I liked how when I added the white, I liked how that contrast looked. So I thought, you know what, let me just add them in on the side, just the white, and just kind of, because it's a dry brush, I didn't wet it before, and let me just see how that looks. And I kind of liked it, so I thought, okay, let's dry that and see how it looks. So it dried more transparent than it went on, so I was able to move forward from there. And I thought, you know what, maybe I could bring it further into the page. So that's what I'm doing now. In some areas I don't have much paint on the brush, I didn't add any more. Whatever was there, I'm just dry brushing it into the page. And at this point, in my mind, I'm seeing a pyramid. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I made a pyramid, a blue pyramid. And it's huge. So then I remembered, I don't know if you all remembered, but I divided my page in quote unquote half. So I remembered that at this point. So I was thinking, hey Gina, you were supposed to do I had an idea to do some drips at the half mark. So the top half and the bottom half was supposed to look different, but it wasn't working out. My brain it wasn't working out in my brain, so that's why it didn't happen. So I decided to do this instead. I saw my spatula there and I made these marks, and then I scraped it by mistake, and I thought, hey, this is looking real good. So I continued to put more scrapes and make some marks in the black paint, which I just love. It looks so juicy. I wanted to touch it, but of course it was wet and I would have smudged it, so you know, that would not have been cool. I made a mistake there and I was trying to wipe it off. But yeah, so I'm putting in my marks with the spatula, which I just really love, and I'm still seeing a pyramid. I'm thinking this looks like a pyramid, like up in the clouds kind of, but kind of space, like it's out in space kind of. That's what, yeah. And then I thought down there it's too light. I wanted to darken it a bit, so I came in with some black and I was trying to blend it in. I didn't think that I did a good job, but you know, I just thought, let me add some black just in that corner. And then of course I had to add my splatters, because you know, we need to add something nice and bright on top of that juicy darkness. So I just carried it throughout the page, even in the light areas, and it still felt like it was missing some stuff. So I was just looking at it upside down, right side up. You know, it gives you a little different kind of perspective. And I called my daughter and I was like, what do you think about this? And she said it looks like it's missing something. And I felt the same way. So I thought, okay, let me try to add some yellow. This was way too intense. I had no intention of adding it in such a large, big area. But it happened. So I'm trying to fix it now by adding more white and trying to fade it in, because I really want to keep some white space instead of covering it up and then adding back the white, which I kind of did. But so I'm trying my best now to put back in that white space and also lighten up that yellow, because I really didn't want it so intense. So I learned my lesson on this side. I just added a little bit, and again, just like I did before, I'm adding it and then taking it away, adding and taking away. I ended up wiping up all the splatters I did. Part of it dried partially, and I made an error when I was wiping, and I saw that, you know, when you partially dry it, it leaves the border but the inside is gone, and I kind of liked how it looked, so I just wiped everything away. And I thought I could always put back more, but I liked it, so I was like, hey, let me just wipe it off. Yeah, so now again here on this side as well, I'm trying to brighten it up. I'm also trying not to go into my black, which I use with the spatula, so that's kind of a little difficult. And I'm also trying not to go into the right corner of the pyramid. Yes, I'm calling it a pyramid. I know it's not, but where I added the black and darkened it, I was trying not to get into that area. So I'm just adding and taking away, trying to keep some light areas so you'll get some nice contrast, and but still keep the color, because I still want to see the yellow. Then I thought that corner was looking way too bland, so I put back in some blue. I'm trying to feather it out and blend it in, and you know, make it look all nice and blended and still see my shapes. So I'm kind of really liking it. This is not what I had in my mind when I first started, but here now I thought that because I went over it with the yellow and white paint, the darkness of it, you know, it got pushed back a bit, so I'm just coming back in with some black to get back in those areas and make it dark again. The blending on this second time was not good, but it is what it is. I was really pressed for time. It was terrible. And then I thought I deleted, after I edited, I thought I deleted it, and then I was freaking out, and then I found it. So yay! Hence the reason it's so late, but that's okay. So I'm putting back in my splatters, which I really love. And then I thought, let's add some black splatters to go in there. Why not? I still felt like it was missing something, so I thought maybe if I gave one side of the pyramid a shadow, that might help. And part of my brain was thinking, no, Gina, just leave it. It was fine. You should have just stopped right there. Just don't. But I did it anyway. I did it. I couldn't undo it. I did it, and I just continued doing it. That didn't turn out too well. I used acrylic paint before, so I'm using my Stabilo All pencil now to draw it in and then try and feather it out and, you know, make it look like a nice shadow. So I'm looking at it and I think it looks really weird. So I decided to give some of the other shapes a little shadow as well, because it just looks weird. Just this black line in the middle of my book. So I thought, okay, Gina, maybe if you add some shadow on the other shapes, it might help. So I'm just going to spend some time doing that. So I feel a little better about the page now. So I have a little smudgy here. I'm just gonna take a minute to try and erase it. Just add some water and just try and pick it up and erase those things. And yeah, I feel a lot better. It reminds me of outer space and geometrical shapes and stuff like that. And then I thought, since we have yellow on the page, I could add some yellow splashes. Why not? I don't think I ever did that before. But so we have black, white, and now yellow splashes. And then I thought, hey, let's add some shine. So I thought, let's add some gold splashes. So depending on how you look at it, where the light hits, you'll see a little shine here and a little shine there. I was going to do glitter, but then, as I said, it was really time sensitive, and I didn't have the time for that. So I just tried my best with the gold paint, and yes, I love it. This is not what I had in mind. It's not how I thought it would turn out at all. So tell me what you guys think. I would love, as always, to hear your comments, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully sooner rather than later. Thank you so much for your patience, for your comments, for your encouragement, for your love, for your everything. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and for your ideas. Yeah, and for your tips and everything. Thank you so much.